Pretty nice, I think. Pretty nice. So yeah, this song, just like the previous song in my previous video, starts out with some ambience in the background. I mentioned in the last video that I had just done like 5 or 6 songs in a row where they all start out with ambience, and this was indeed one of those songs. I usually do chords and melodies, and I've been doing that for so long that I kind of been thinking, oh, what else can I do? What else? And yeah, so I've been experimenting more and more with ambience, with pads, and I've just been coming up with really, really crazy, creepy pads. It makes the song darker than they normally would be. So yeah, I did something in this song that I also did in the previous song, which I pretty much do in every song, is that I take something from the intro and I bring it over into the build and I fade that out as I'm bringing up the risers and the sweeps. So as all these risers and sweeps come up in volume, the pad is going down until it's almost completely gone. And also, I did chop it up again, just like in the previous song. Again, I could have just sidechained it so that there's no volume when the kick's hitting it, but there are certain times when cutting it out, I think, is more effective than sidechaining. And this was definitely, again, one of those situations where I just thought it was better. So yeah, faded that out. I brought in these risers, and this time I made a whopping 9. I said in the last video that I might start doing tutorials on risers, and that's partly because I've become so efficient at making them, because in every song it seems like every time in every song I'm adding more and more and more risers, just because I think that the more risers you have in a song, the more energy you get, you know? That's where you want most of the energy to be before you get to the drop. You want it to be in the build. You want the build to be like really, really high energy, and then it stops, and then it says some kind of vocal sample or some kind of noise, and then it goes into the drop. So yeah, I've really been focusing on risers a lot, as you can tell here. So yeah, might do a tutorial on that. And anyway, so there's the risers and the sweep, and there is actually a vocal sample here, but I'm going to mute that because I don't know if I'm going to leave it there or if I'm going to switch it or if I'm going to continue to manipulate it some more. So then we get over here into the drop. And now this entire drop, I knew ahead of time that I wanted to do a metallic-y reverb kind of bass, because this theme of this album of Ghost is making really monster, zombie, kind of like these really tortured creature sounds for the drops. So I haven't really focused much on other sounds, and lately I've been trying to think of what other sounds I could make, and like with that last song, I did metallic pluck bass, which I've done that actually a lot before too, but I have not done a lot of just really metallic-y basses, so I thought, alright, let me do that as the foundation of this song. When I do my sound designing, I don't do the sound designing in the song itself. Before I even start a project, I'll come up with the idea, which in this case was metallic bass, and I'll spend a day or two sound designing, put them into a folder. Then when I open up the project that I actually want to start the song, that's when I'm just pulling everything from that folder and putting it together in the main project file. This isn't even a lot. This is only eight sounds I got going on here, not including the growl and a double zero, so I actually got 9 sounds here, and that's a little bit for me. I usually have a lot more sounds than that. So this actually starts off with a growl. I usually don't do that. Usually I like to leave the growl as maybe like on the 8th bar and kind of do a growl leading into the next set, or, you know, leading into the second part of the drop. But yeah, since I don't do it very often, I thought, you know, why not start with the growl to kind of switch it up a little bit. So started out with the growl, and this song is probably 90% done, and you can tell that because it doesn't have a second part to it. If it had the second part, that would mean everything is kind of set in stone. I'm not going to be doing much else to it, but right now it doesn't have a second part because there's still some things that I might arrange or some stuff that might get rearranged. And if I have the first part and the second part, that means I have to go back and forth between the two. If I leave it like this, then I can just copy it and paste it, and if I want, I can make some slight changes to the second part if there's going to be any changes to it. So yeah, so we're at about 90% right now. I think the most that I have to do is a little bit more mixing, some more organization, and the growl. I think it's the same growl on every one, I think. Let's see. No, it's just two. Yeah, it's just two copy and pasted, just these two, and then I copied it and pasted on every one. So within this sample, actually, if we open it, yeah, it's all growl. It's all growls. So what I'm going to do is go through all this. This is an example of my sound design right here. As I have the VST open like Serum, I will tweak knobs in real time as I'm recording into Edison. So then I'll have this huge file of the growl being manipulated, and then I can just go through this long file and chop out the pieces that sound really good. So far from this entire long audio piece right here, I was able to pull out this one and this one. So yeah, that was just temporary, the whole copy and pasting more, just so that I can get on with the rest of the song. But now that the rest of the song is in order, I will just go through the entire rest of the audio file and pull out some more good growls from that. So that is that. What else can be fixed here or changed? I don't think there's much else that I'm gonna change. I got, let's see, what is this? This is the pad for the background. Yeah, this time I didn't want something in the background that was constantly there because I already had a lot going on with that metallic bass. And as you can tell, there is a lot of high end in this. And something else that I did too was I do side chaining in every single song, but in this song, as you can see, it's like to the extreme. The main reason for that is because we have that snare or that clap slamming down, and it's got a huge reverb on it, long decay, and I really wanted that impact to shine through. So yeah, there's some very, very heavy side chaining. And as you can tell, what I do with my side chaining is I'll side chain it and then I'll resample it so that the sample itself now is side chained. I can take the side chain off it because it's faded in. Yeah, so, and they're all like that. Even the pad here. Yeah, so everything is extremely side-chained in this song, and yeah, some layering going on. I got this, okay, this is cool actually. This is really cool. So the whole entire song, the first draft of the song when I first put it together, it didn't have this part. If I take away this snare or this clap, it didn't have that. It didn't have that stop. It was just one continuous bass. And I can't show you that now because it's chopped up. But yeah, the original first draft was one continuous bass, and the problem with that was that there was so much high end in this song, and having one continuous bass without any kind of breaks, it was just really harsh on the ears to listen to a lot. I just kept chopping it, and it got to this part here, and I thought, wow, that would sound pretty cool with a reverb in the back. So So like I said in the last video, what I do is I have the dry single on one track, the wet single, the reverb on the other track, and then I just sample the original sound right here, and then I sample the reverb. So dry single, wet single, and then I mix them together separately so that I have more control over both of them. And yeah, so came up with this idea that there should be a little bit of a break and that there should be reverb there. It took me a little while to get this pattern down, but yeah, I came up with and then the second time around, this was cool. I added another pad in the second one on top of the pad that was already there. Whoops. It sounds like it's only chained on halftime. And yeah, so that's just kind of to give the second part a little bit more weight.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and comment, subscribe and check out our other videos.